So, imagine you are standing in a coffee shop, and the person working there looks at you and asks a very simple question in English.
Oh yeah, that classic moment.
Right. You know the words, you know the grammar rules, but like suddenly your brain just completely freezes up.
It is a terrible feeling.
It really is. You are trying so hard to translate the sentence in your head, but the silence just stretches on and on, and, the line of people behind you is waiting.
Yeah, your heart starts beating a little faster.
Exactly. And when you finally speak, the words come out so slowly, the whole thing just feels really awkward.
I mean, that moment is understood by anyone who's learning a second language. You feel trapped.
Yeah, trapped.
Your English knowledge is locked inside your head, and, well, you just cannot get it out fast enough to have a normal, easy chat.
Well, welcome to our deep dive. You are watching the YouTube channel, English Coffee Corner. Please take a quick moment to subscribe to the channel to watch the previous and upcoming videos. We are just really happy to have you here today.
We really are.
And our mission today is to look at this exact problem. How do we stop translating in our heads? And, how do we start actually thinking in English?
It is such a good topic.
Right. We are using a very helpful video today by Kirsty from the channel Confident English with Kirsty.
And this is so important because if you are listening to us right now, you probably already know a lot of English.
Right. You have a good base.
Yeah, you know the grammar, you know a lot of words, you can read English perfectly fine, but speaking still feels like climbing a giant mountain. It just takes way too much effort.
So let us talk about why that happens. We need to figure out what is going wrong inside our brains when we translate.
Well, Kirsty explains this perfectly in her video. When you translate in your head, you are basically making your brain do two jobs at the exact same time.
Two jobs.
Yeah, the first job is forming the idea in your own language. You make the thought in your mother tongue first.
Okay, and then there's the extra step.
Right, the extra step that ruins everything. Job number 2 is looking for the English words, checking the grammar rules, and then finally actually speaking out loud.
Wow, that is a lot of work.
It is. That extra step acts like a big stop sign. It causes a delay, and that delay is exactly why speaking feels so slow and so hard.
Kirsty actually told a very personal story about this, right? About when she was learning French.
She did, yeah. When she first moved to France, she translated every single sentence in her head during conversations.
Oh, wow.
And she said she just felt so heavy. Because her brain was working twice as hard, she always felt like she was one step behind everyone else.
I mean, that makes total sense. Like if someone tells a joke and you have to translate the start of the joke and then translate the funny part.
Right, you are too late.
Yeah. By the time you understand why it is funny, your friends are already talking about something completely different.
You are just always trying to catch up. I mean, translation is okay when you first start learning. On your very first day, you have to translate.
Sure, you need to know what the words mean.
But as you get better, this tool becomes a really bad habit. It just holds you back.
It is like driving a car while trying to read a map at the exact same time.
Oh, that is a good way to look at it.
Like you look at the road, then you look down at the map, then back to the road. You can move forward, but you have to drive very, very slowly, or you will crash.
Exactly.
Is this extra work the main reason speaking a new language makes us feel so tired?
Yes, 100%. Driving and reading a map at the same time uses so much mental energy. When you translate, you empty your brain's battery.
Right.
And this explains why learners get so frustrated. You might say a sentence that is totally correct, but it still sounds strange to a native speaker. The pauses are too long. It's just not natural.
So, if translating makes us drive slowly, how do fluent speakers drive so fast? What does the new science say about this?
Well, there's a study from the year 2024 that answers this.
Oh, a very new study.
Yeah. The scientists looked at something called cognitive fluency. But really, that just means brain speed. It is how fast your brain can find a word and send it to your mouth.
So how did they test this?
They watched how the brain finds words when someone is talking. They found that the brain has two totally different ways of working. The first way is called controlled processing.
Controlled processing. What does that actually feel like?
It feels like very heavy, careful work. Your brain slows way down. It looks through your memory like a dictionary. It finds a word, stops to make sure it is the right word, checks the grammar, and tries to control everything.
Okay, so that is the slow driving. That is the map reading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the second way is called automatic processing. This is what fluent speakers use. The brain just sees the idea and it grabs the English word right away.
No thinking.
No thinking, no checking, no translating. It is just instant.
Wait, so let me make sure I understand this. Being fluent is not about knowing more words.
Nope. Fast speakers are not smarter, and they do not know more grammar rules.
Really, it is just about how fast you can grab the words you already know.
Yes, that is exactly what the science shows. Their brains are just trained better to find words quickly without stopping.
Wow. I like to think about this like a messy room versus a clean room.
Okay, tell me more.
Imagine you are getting ready for work, and your room is just a huge mess. Clothes everywhere. You need to find your shoes. You know you have shoes. They are in the room. But because it is so messy, it takes you 5 minutes of digging to find them.
Right, that is controlled processing. The words are there, but your brain is too cluttered to find them fast.
But if your room is totally clean and organized, you walk in, grab your shoes in 1 second, and walk out. You do not even think about it.
Yes, that is automatic processing. Thinking in English just means having a clean, organized room in your mind.
That is so cool.
Yeah, your brain just reaches out and gets the word instantly.
Okay, but this brings up a big question. If we need a clean room in our minds, how do we build it? How do we organize our English?
By learning patterns. Yeah, Kirsty talks a lot about this. The brain hates lists of single words.
Which is funny because that is exactly how school teaches us, right? Here is a list of 20 single words. Memorize them for Friday.
And it is a terrible way to learn. The brain likes words that belong together. In English, we call these collocations.
Collocations, that is a big word, but it just means words that naturally go together, right?
Exactly. Word partners. For example, when a lot of water falls from the sky, we say heavy rain.
Right. We never say big rain.
No, big rain sounds totally wrong. Even though big and heavy mean similar things sometimes, you cannot switch them here. Heavy and rain are a pattern.
Okay, that makes sense.
Another one is about decisions. We always say make a decision. We never say do a decision.
Right, or like take responsibility, not have responsibility.
Yes. When you learn words together in these groups, your brain can guess what word comes next. It saves so much time. By the way, Kirsty shares a free list of 100 collocations in the comments of her video.
Oh, wow. That is super helpful. I mean, it is like buying a whole meal at a fast food place instead of buying every piece of food one by one. It is just so much faster.
That is a great way to put it.
So should we completely stop writing down single words in our notebooks?
Yes, the source says to stop doing that. When you learn a new word, write it down in a full pattern. Learning the pattern makes the brain stop working so hard. It starts predicting the words for you.
Okay, so we know we need patterns. Now, how do we practice this every single day so it becomes automatic?
Kirsty gives 3 very simple steps.
Yes.
The first one is called shadowing.
Shadowing. So you listen to someone speaking English and you talk at the exact same time, like a shadow.
Yes, you listen to a video and you repeat the words out loud right away. No pausing, no translating, just follow their voice. Kirsty used this a lot to become fluent in French.
Wait, shadowing sounds a little bit like being a parrot.
It does sound like that.
Does just copying sounds without thinking actually teach your brain anything?
It really does. The source explains that shadowing stops your brain from analyzing. It breaks your bad habits.
Because you do not have time to think.
Exactly. You have to speak so fast to keep up, you literally cannot translate. It forces your brain out of that slow mode and into the fast automatic mode.
Oh, wow. So it physically proves to your brain that your mouth can move fast without needing to translate first?
Yes. So that is step 1. Step 2 is speaking out loud every day.
With a friend.
With a friend or totally alone. You can talk about what you're making for dinner. Just speak out loud.
But what if you make mistakes? If you are alone, nobody can fix your grammar.
According to the source, mistakes do not matter right now. The goal is training your brain to search faster. When you struggle to find a word, that struggle is actually good.
Really, the struggle is good?
Yeah. Searching trains the brain. The next time you need that word, it comes a little bit faster.
Okay, so shadowing and speaking out loud. What is the third step?
Listen to English stories. Kirsty actually makes 2-story videos a month for this.
Stories are great, but people get mad when they do not know all the words. They want to stop and look in a dictionary.
And you should definitely not do that. Here's the secret rule. You only need to understand 60 or 70% of the story.
Wait, only 60%. Why is that good?
Because your brain uses the story to guess what the missing words mean. It acts like a detective.
Oh, I see. So if a character is standing in the snow with no coat, and they say a word you do not know, your brain just guesses it means cold.
Yes. And when your brain guesses from the story, It connects the idea straight to English. It skips your native language completely.
That is amazing. You learn the word without ever translating it.
And that is exactly what thinking in English means.
Okay, let us bring this all together. What is the final goal here? If someone starts doing this today, will they think perfectly in English tomorrow?
No, and we need to be honest about that. It is a slow change. It is not a light switch you can just turn on.
Right.
Some days you will translate and some days you will not. That is very normal. The goal is not to be perfect.
So do not be angry if you catch yourself translating.
Never be angry at yourself. The goal is just to use less effort. You just want more flow when you speak.
Less effort, more flow. I love that. And again, check out Kirsty's video and her free PDF with the 100 patterns.
Yes, anyone can do this. If you practice with patterns and stories, your brain will adapt. One day, you will just be speaking without thinking about English at all.
The messy room will become clean.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I want to leave everyone with a quick question to think about today. We learned that learning to think in a new language changes how fast your brain finds words, right?
Right.
So, does thinking in English actually change the speed of all your thoughts, even when you are just sitting quietly by yourself?
Oh, wow. That is a deep question.
Right. Does a new language change how fast your mind works? Something for you to think about today. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. Please remember to subscribe to the English Coffee Corner YouTube channel to watch the previous and upcoming videos. We will see you next time.